Alright guys. Oh, I'm so glad you did this. Makes me so happy. I get to yell at you. No eating in the classrooms, period.
I knew it was that.
The orders have come down from on high, and your humble servant has been given the authority to say, if you eat in my class, bad things will happen. And I get to get vague on that. But seriously, we've had too many problems with crumbs in the computers, smears on the desks. It's a big hassle. So if you're going to eat, either eat outside of the academy or in one of the rooms without computers on. Drink is different as long as it's sealed, then you're fine. But as for anything edible, I'm looking at you Sabrina, in a very pointed way.
I know, I see you.
Okay, good. Just so it's on the record. So yeah, that's that. Easy peasy. Alright. That's fair. Alright. So finish it up, but this will be the last time I expect to have to give this rather uninspired speech.
Does that apply to everybody in the building or just us students?
Just you students.
Just why? That's not fair.
No, it's not. That's the rule. Now then.
That's not fair.
Nope.
It's not everybody.
Nope. Well, I'm not allowed to be in class. I'm teaching. And you're studying.
Was that every class or just your class?
Every classroom with a computer in it, follows this rule. So, very simple. Not a lot of ambiguity in it. We're still waiting on a few people. We're still missing. We're missing.
Let's just get started.
All right. So. All right. So we're going to move on to the first drafts of your 30-second commercials, which are very interesting little doodads. I'll tell you that. Can you turn the camera to the wall so we can? Nah, I'm afraid he never does.
I've never seen it.
Okay, fine. 30-second commercials are very easy, interesting little buggers. But more to the point, the general rule of thumb is that who here's written the cover letter before? All right, so we got one. All right, but you understand what's being done. You're pitching yourself before they actually get to your resume.
Right.
In this way, a 30-second commercial can be viewed as a scaled down or condensed or boiled down resume or cover letter. This is intended for use in situations where, unless you're Bugs Bunny, you can't pull your resume out of thin air and slap it into someone's hand when you meet them in the elevator and find out they're the head of something that you're interested in. Or even if they're not. You want to be able to talk about yourself and your experiences in a natural, unforced way that also has structure and an overall point. These are going to take a while to craft and mold. Everyone has their own sensibilities, voice, and style of presentation. And you'll develop that, throughout the next 2 or 3 classes. But right now what we're working on is the premise that these are also called elevator speeches. If you get into an elevator with someone, by the time it gets to either of your floors, you should be done your 30-second commercial. It's not an exhaustive, I was born in Canada, Saskatchewan to be specific, and then they're off the elevator by the time you're done. It's not a life story. It's a brief work history, your aspirations, and your talents scrunched down into 30 seconds or so. Less than a minute. I mean, there's leeway, but ideally 30 seconds is the form we're going for. So that's covered. What is it? When you'll use it? This is the key for networking outside of a digital environment. Networking in a digital environment through LinkedIn, to a degree Facebook, is, as long as you want it to be. But, when you're networking with a whole bunch of people at a job fair, your 30-second commercial is going to be your bestest friend ever. And I'm aware, as an English teacher, that bestest is not a word, but I chose it just to emphasize how much this is going to save your behinds at job fairs, interviews, anything. What should be in it? It's really up to your discretion. So say you've had a whole bunch of jobs in the food service industry, but the job you're most proud of was in customer service and you were in it for 10 years. You can, tactfully leave out that you're, in the food service industry for that long, and focus on your experience in public relations and say, I'm very good at this. I enjoyed it very much. This is what I'm trying to get back into. It really, the great thing about it is its versatility. And Vincent, eyes up here. Thank you. That was fun. We can do that now. So yeah, because every one of you has different individual experiences, each commercial is going to be different and suited to your style. Like say Vincent's style is very direct and formal, so he uses a lot of language that is professional. That works for him because that fits his experiences. Whereas someone using a conversational style, like for example Ms. Roslyn, that might suit her better. This is really about knowing what suits you and getting things down. This is actually where we have you print out the skills I have and skills I need sheet, so you can refer to that. We'll get them back to you.
Guys, can you turn to page 9 in your books? There's a little bit more about developing the 30-second commercial there that I want to look over before we watch some examples.
Or I could have just said that.
Give us one of his examples.
I could if you wanted, but there are other students that are more telling.
So, what is it? It's one of the keys to successful interviewing and networking to make a really strong first impression. Everyone's heard the saying that, first impressions are everything. You only get a chance to make a good first impression once. So, this is your chance. That answer to the tell me about yourself is really your opportunity to make a good first impression with a potential employer.
Excuse me, why should I get one of those?
For what?
You didn't get a book? Oh, because you were absent last week.
Yeah, I didn't
So we'll give you one. If you could share with a neighbor, that would be great. So we're on page 9. When will I use it? You will use our 30-second commercial throughout your professional life. So it's something that you guys are going to use on an ongoing basis. It's something you're going to use, even after you have a job. You're going to have to change it a little bit, but it's that elevator pitch is something you're always going to be using. The professional one, the one that we're going to work on devising right now, you're going to use that in an interview. You're going to use it in a cover letter. So I think that one of the really cool things is, we start with this 30-second commercial, which can seem a little out of sorts because, you need to do a cover letter and a resume to get a job, right? But the 30-second commercial is great because you're able to take so much of that 30-second commercial that you write and put it into your cover letter. So there should absolutely be components of your 30-second commercial in your cover letter. Towards the end of this class, we're going to have you write a cover letter. But we're going to start with the 30-second commercial because it's so much more important for you to be comfortable speaking and for you to have all those skills, listed, and you're able to briefly talk about them to a potential employer. You're going to use it, so in a cover letter, you're going to use it at professional networking events. We're going to encourage you guys to go to networking events, throughout your time at the academy and during breaks. We want you to go to the networking events. Like I said earlier, it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know. So who you know is so essential in getting you a job. You're going to use it in cold calling employers and when introducing yourself to others at a potential job fair. Okay? What should you include? So you're going to introduce yourself. You're going to discuss your experience. You're going to talk about your training, any relevant work history. Your 30-second commercial, should be always the same sort of thing, but you're going to gear your cover letter specifically towards the position for which you are applying. You're going to state a strength or skill in which they would be interested. So if you meet someone who works at Aramark, you're going to probably talk to them a little differently than you would someone who works at Johnson & Johnson, right? You're going to have to gear it differently for a different audience. Because as we talk a lot about in BBC, the first question you're going to want to ask yourself during any presentation is who is my audience, right? You want to gear it specifically to that audience. So you're going to talk about an accomplishment or two that proves you have the training to be relevant to that position. You're going to talk about your employment goal, what you're looking for, and most importantly, you're going to say how you can be a benefit to the company. You know, everyone loves to hear about you and all the things that you hope to accomplish. When I started out, I definitely was saying it wrong because I would say, oh, well, you know, it's so excited to work for this nonprofit, it's going to make me feel so good, and, you know, like talking about what I was going to gain from it. Employers don't care what you're going to personally gain from any position. They want to know what they're going to gain, which, you know, which makes sense. Because someone else who's interviewing is going to be talking about, if you don't, is going to be talking about what the employer is to gain. So you want to make sure that you mention what you are going to bring to the company. You want to gear it towards the employer and talk about what they're going to get from hiring you. So while we develop this, I mean, I want you guys to look over this page. You want to make it memorable but not outrageous. You want to appear confident. And it must be prepared in advance, but you don't want it to sound memorized. Like anything, you want it to sound somewhat natural. And it's probably going to sound natural because you're going to change it to every specific situation a little. You have a question?
Yeah, I think the 30-second commercial will be more beneficial to people that more or less speakers, like, you know, everybody can't really get their expression across.
But we're going to work on getting our expression across because a 30-second commercial, everyone has to go through an interview for a job, right? So this is the answer to that question, tell me about yourself. You want to seem personable. You want to, but the nice thing about the 30-second commercial is you're able to steal a lot of it and put it into your cover letter, into that middle paragraph of your cover letter where you're talking about your experience. So yeah, Vincent, I mean, yeah, not everyone's going to be like 100% super personable, but you want to seem, you want to come across that way. You want to seem like you're going to be able to provide the company with all this. Does that make sense? Okay. So you want to be prepared for the follow-up questions because the nice thing about your 30-second commercial is in an interview setting, it's going to lead to more questions. It's not like you're just going to say it and that's going to be it. It's most likely going to lead to more questions. Yeah, you want to vary your closing to the specific situation. And I think you want to be proactive. At least for our purposes in this class, I want you to end it with a proactive question. So what does proactive mean? Vincent.
Proactive, it can mean a lot of things, but basically, I think it means when you know, I don't know.
I think proactive would be like after the interview, you want to get to the next steps. You want to say something that's going to take you to the next step.
Right. So if you're proactive, that means if you're pro, that means you're for something, right? So proactive is just like for, you know, you're for being active. You want to break it down. So proactive is just like, what can I do to get to those next steps? And that should be a question that you ask at every single interview. You know, what are the next steps? That's always my last question at an interview because you want to know.
Would
You know.
it be important, like, if you was at an interview, that you would to take the initiative to be a forefront, like, to know, for example, to know if what the interviewer would be saying before you get there, kind of like you don't get stuck when you get there. Like when you get there, you don't be going something like kind of figure it out.
Right. You want want to be prepared. Yeah, I think that's great. You want to be prepared for any time you're going to be on an interview. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that more, specifically for the interview. But for your 30-second commercial, you want to kind of end it, for this class, you want to kind of end it with a proactive question, which is on page 10. May I send you a resume, or may I have your business card to follow up? Something that means you're going to have another action step. You're going to have another interaction with the person, that's going to provide you with something else. So, we're going to watch an example of a 30-second commercial, and then you're going to be using page 11 to fill out your 30-second commercial. So like a lot of things in this class, this is a two-step process. I want you to fill out page 11, and then we're going to have you... Well, I'll make copies for those of you that are sharing. You're going to fill out page 11, and then you're going to type up your 30-second commercial, and that probably won't be until next class, until you have a finalized version. But this is your rough draft. So page 11, everyone will be working on their rough draft of their 30-second commercial. Okay, so I need to make 2 copies. 3, 2. Okay.
I don't even. It's like I don't even know where to begin.
So we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch an example. This is actually professional, that we're watching. But then we're gonna also watch some other students who have done their 30-second
So we're
commercial.
doing page 9 through 10, and then we're doing page 11.
Yeah, you're doing page 11. We're looking at page 9 and 10. Yeah.
The 30-second commercial. Well, how can I sell myself when I don't even have all the skills I need to?
So we're going to
At
focus
this time.
on what you do have.
Okay.
You don't want to talk about what you don't have in your 30-second commercial. You want to focus on what you have. I wouldn't worry about what skills you don't have. Worry about telling the employer that until they specifically ask you of that. Now, most often, we're not going to apply for jobs where we don't have a college degree or one of the basic requirements, a CNA license. Like, I'm not going to apply for any jobs like that. And that's something that all employers expect, that you have the minimum requirements. And I would hope that you aren't going to be applying for any jobs where you don't have the minimum requirements,
We're still taking the next steps too.
So you did. Were you here last week?
Yes.
You are. So yeah, Tns1, to reiterate, is one of the first classes you take as you begin the academy. Because you guys are all pretty new, right?
Yes.
And then Tns2 is one of the last, or it is one of the last classes, if not the last class that you take at the end of your time.
So at that time, we would be able to enhance this 30-second commercial to exemplify the skills that we've learned since.
Yes. Good point.
So
Yeah,
we'll have to
absolutely.
be able to update it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never actually thought of that. But yes, absolutely. You'll be able to update it, and a lot of time is spent in TNS2 on job search. So you're going to be specifically applying for jobs where you do meet those requirements or where you're close enough. Okay? So, not sure where Charlie went, but I'm going to put on this video. Ma'am, if you can hit the lights behind you. Maybe there's no volume.
A lot of people obviously come to us. A lot of people obviously come to us with the question of how do I stand out? I mean, most of the times when you actually go to an interview, or if you're meeting with a recruiter, whether it's over the phone, with a phone screening, or even a face-to-face interview, it may be at a career fair. And so some of the things that you want to look at in that 30-second personal commercial is an opportunity for you to stand out from the crowd. And there's a couple of key things that you want to include in this to be able to really express who you are. And one of those things is, how do you answer the question, tell me about yourself? And I think it's crucial that you think about and you're prepared on how you're going to answer that question, Because just like any other competition in athletics, it's the same thing when you're competing for a job opportunity. You want to prepare for what you're going to say when you're asked that question. Tell me about yourself. And there's some key ingredients I think you should include in that. I think one of those things is that you want to highlight some of the accomplishments that you've taken on as an athlete. It's not always work experience. A lot of times it can actually be some of the teamwork accomplishments. It could be volunteer experience that you've used. It could be a number of opportunities and leadership roles that you've taken on. But I think the key piece from those things is not just highlighting what you did, but at the end of the day, how does that relate to the new company? Because I think it's important when you're sitting down with a recruiter or an employer, one of the key ingredients they want to find out from you is why you? How do you set yourself apart? Why are you different? Why should I take the time and the energy? And most importantly, why should I spend the money in training you and bringing you onto my company when I'm not sure exactly what you're all about? So I think you need to be able to highlight your skill sets and how they're going to transition into the new company. I think you need to be able to follow up those accomplishments of how you can make an immediate impact with that organization. I mean, most companies nationwide are looking for somebody who's going to be able to come in and make an immediate impact with their organization. So you got to really think about how can you answer that question and what your background does to provide that resource. I think a lot of it does go back to your athletic experience, and if there's one key that I can share with you from the companies that we talk with, it's always about the performance, teamwork, the ability to overcome obstacles, the time management expectations that come with what you've done as an athlete. And if you can take all of those things and put them into your 30-second commercial and really explain to this employer why you will make an immediate impact in their organization, I guarantee you that they're going to take the time to set you apart from the rest of the applicants in order to make a decision on bringing you in face-to-face, and then again ultimately making the decision of whether they're going to invest their money, time, energy, and resources to train you, bring you on board to make an impact. And one of the keys when you're getting your 30-second personal commercial together is you don't want this to come across as though it's screened or memorized or it's something that sounds robotic. It needs to be something that's very fluid. Obviously, practice makes perfect, and so it's important that you take the time to really come across and really be precise with what you're trying to get across to that employer. They need to understand exactly who you are, what your experiences are that can be added to that organization and how it's going to make an immediate impact. And then, of course, at the end of the day, you want to be able to explain how you're going to make that impact by joining their team. You want to set yourself apart, but you also want it to come across so that it's, again, not candid. It's something that has certainly been worked on, and that you can explain it and it comes across fluid to the employer and recruiter. Let me just give you a brief glimpse of what a 30-second personal commercial may look like. Hi, my name is Chad Smith. I am a marketing degree graduate. I have a 3.2 GPA, and I was a student athlete. I played both college football and college baseball. I'm seeking an opportunity where I can move into a growing organization that offers a lot of room for development, programs, and training. My background, of course, is coming as an athlete. I was a team captain on the baseball team, and I was also the president of my fraternity. And one of the things I learned from the leadership roles that I had was the ability to lead other people to a common goal. And I want to find an organization that provides the same type of opportunities for me, because I would like to be able to take those same skill sets that I gained through my college experience and my athletic experience and how to tie that into your organization. I also would love to be searching for a job that offers a full-time opportunity, one that's going to pay me based on my performance, and I want to be a part of a team so that we can accomplish goals together. If that's something that makes sense and that's what you guys are offering, then I'd love to have the opportunity to talk to you more. And I think another key piece of this 30-second commercial is how do you set up the follow-up? Because obviously, with the statements that you make, you're going to be receiving follow-up questions from that recruiter or that employer. And so you've got to be able to prepare to elaborate on some of those questions. At the end of the day, like anything else, you want to prepare to close the opportunity with this organization. And if it's a position that you really want, you need to be able to set that up so that at the end of your conversation, you really need to be able to follow up with the question of, where do we do moving forward? Can I provide you a copy of my resume? Is there a business card that I can get from you in order to send in some additional information about my experience and background? Of course, you're not always going to have 30 seconds or even a couple minutes, and you may not even, you may have to actually give it out a lot faster. But that just kind of gives you the overview of how to take what you've done as an athlete, and to be able to articulate that to a company and how you can make an impact on what you're looking for with that organization.
All right. So, what did you guys take from that?
It was.
I mean, please don't play too much or focus too much rather on the fact that he talks a lot about athletics.
Because that's what he's applying.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what.
I mean,
that's
it's really
his,
good.
good.
It was
You know, it gave me the
perfect talk about some
I could
things he
see.
did in school.
I could see.
Okay.
He was president or something.
Good.
I could see how to do it by listening to him.
Good. And that's the point.
Say your own attributes
Yeah,
and
thank you.
what you're going for.
Good. Good.
And not just that, it's basically, like he said, there's so many people out here that's trying to get the same position that you have.
Right.
You have to sell yourself. You have to dress up. You have to basically dress up your words that you use. Like, say for instance, I would say by me being, in the past that I was a nursing assistant. So I would say that I have a lot of time management skills.
Right.
And that I'm also good as being a team player.
Perfect.
So you would just kind of reword your experiences for the job, because you're selling yourself. So you want to make your commercial. You want the employer to be like, you know what, she sounds really good. She has the experience. We're going to put her with the list of people that we're going to bring them in for a second interview. Because some jobs now they do more than just one interview now. So it's like basically selling yourself.
Absolutely. Good. And he focused on, he talked about in the beginning his past experience and then what he was seeking. So his past experience is obviously going to be different from ours, but past experience, you guys all have past experience, and that's something you kind of want to start with, because that's where you've derived the skills that you do possess now. So those were just some other.
You talk about.
And you want to talk about, like, he mentioned, from his athletic career he learned time management. So from your previous positions, like Sabrina said, she learned time management. Maybe you want to talk about the obstacles that you've overcome. We've all overcome obstacles. I don't know if this is necessarily the perfect place to talk at great length about that. If you want to mention obstacles, you can, but I really would encourage you not to focus on it. He also mentioned the immediate impact that he's gonna have on the company, that you're gonna have on the company. That's important because, like we talked about earlier, a company, companies nowadays or always want to know what they get. They want to know what you're gonna give them, what's gonna make, your addition to the company. Why is it gonna help them raise their profit margin?
When you say athletic, that means to be like on target about something that you.
I wouldn't worry about athletic. That was just his example. He was an athlete, so he focused on his athletic abilities and what it taught him. So these were the 3 things I jotted down that his athletic ability taught him. For a lot of you guys, you're going to want to use your past experience or, your management, whatever it might be. Your past experience is really like his athletic experience. And these are the 3 things that, he learned from it. Real quick, I think it would be helpful to watch some other examples maybe of other academy students and how they do it. Do you guys think that would? Okay.
Certainly will.
So one of the things that happens is, we're going to spend a little bit of time working on your 30-second commercial. But then it's going to be uploaded to YouTube when it's done. You're going to actually be recorded. You'll have a lot of notice, so it probably won't be this class. I don't think it'll be next class, but maybe the following. we're going to record you. Everyone's going to present their 30-second commercial. So I don't expect you to have it memorized. You can absolutely bring a sheet of paper up with you, you know, to help guide you in getting through the 30-second commercial. But one of the things you want to work on throughout, you know, your time here by TNS2 is memorizing it. It's supposed to be natural, so this is just really a rough outline for you, but you can read it during your presentation when we videotape everyone. And then we'll critique them, you know. We're going to spend a lot of time on this because for TNS1, the 30-second commercial is really the focus.
What is
Are you okay,
the
Vincent?
significance
Vincent?
of putting it on YouTube?
Ooh, the time you're waiting for it.
Somebody tap.
What is the significance of recording it on YouTube?
The significance of putting it on YouTube, and it's a private channel, so it's not like everyone can access it, but we're going to put it on YouTube so that you can go back and look at it. I've learned that it's really helpful, you know, when you're critiquing yourself to be able to watch a past presentation that you've done or a past, you know, any work that you've done in the past. So you're going to be able to look at it and critique yourself and see what things you could improve, what you could change. You'll also have the ability to send a link to friends, family members, potential employers, that kind of stuff to kind of get the word out there about yourself. And maybe later on, you know, if we have a specific job that we think you'd be great for, maybe we'll send your link with your permission, you know, to a potential employer. So we're gonna watch some examples now. Ooh. If I can find them. Oh. Where'd Charlie go? What's he doing? Nothing, I'm just wondering where he is. Yeah, you should. Shoot. Maybe we can't watch it. I'm trying to watch our 30-second commercials from last time.
Can you just push on one of them?
Let me look one more place, guys. Sorry. Yeah, because this is good. He's not on. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And go on Dropbox that way. She's not good.
Oh, right. And the two brothers that was talking about it, lost both of their legs. I get highly upset.
No, I didn't see him. That's what I was looking for.
Where's Charlie?
Hey. Where were you?
Sorry, I asked you.
So I'm looking for the old 30-second commercials.
You mean on the Academy's channel?
Yeah, but I didn't see them on the YouTube
They're
channel.
there.
They were?
You got the way you got.
Yeah, you have to go back. They're there.
Well,
Yeah.
So even more further back.
Oh, yeah. I got it. You mean the one from last class? Or
Yeah.
further? Oh, yeah, dude. I made a whole playlist for it.
Yeah, because I'd like to show this class if you're going off that.
Yeah, I know. I got this. Gold power science.
I said, how do these services? I was social.
Oh,
You mean these?
yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So you made up for my absence.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
Alright, guys.
Go away. I don't know what that hurts. I chose My name is Randall Scott. I went to my school and become administrator.
Let's turn it up a little.
I worked for a long time for the home and construction promoted. I've had experience in
been working with the school district alongside with my mother and advocates, which proved useful and knowledgeable because I sued the school district in order to help my son. I've worked with PCA in helping the elderly get placed and helping wheelchair-bound persons placed in appropriate programs and report abuse. I've worked with homeless people, helping them in programs and assessments and solving their homelessness. My attributes are attentiveness, organization, and people savvy, and I'm now attending the Sierra Group Academy and polishing my rustic skills. May I have your business?
I'm sure I know a great many.
Can I say, come on, don't be sarcastic.
Hold on.
Hello, my name is Oscar Martinez,
Very different
and my
styles.
job goal is to become an event planner. I am very creative and well organized, and I have an outgoing personality which will enable me to get the work done. I have been a party planner over 6 years, and I am highly qualified. For example, one of the greatest events was ladies' nights that I did a few months back at a club called Club Roots, located at Biennale Gaming. It was full of energy and fun. I catered to many parties, which consist of house parties, venues, clubs, anything you want. I'm very, very well organized. I must mention that. I definitely love doing what I do. Also, I work well with others, and right now I attend Sierra Academy, a school of technology. And just let me know, I am searching for the opportunity to achieve in this work field of planners. May I please have your business card?
Right, so you notice how he varied from his script, right?
My name is Oscar Martinez, and I'm looking for a job as an event planner. I have 6 years of experience. I've done hundreds of parties, to venues, to house parties, anything that caters to the people. I DJ on the side, which allows me to get the crowd going and pumping. And what else? Basically, now I am attending school for it, which I attend Sierra Academy of School of Technology, and I'm wanting to do the business cards, of course.
They did much better when he was talking some more.
Yeah.
But also you need some more eye contact.
Right. You kind of got the impression for some that he was talking through me, not to you. Again, there's always
Hi, my name is Gregory Sandy Swain. My goal is customer service in the tourism and hospitality field. I've been working in the tourism and hospitality field currently for the last 17.5 years. I'm very people-oriented and a problem solver, which I have demonstrated during my years of part-time seasonal employment as a host with the Philadelphia Phillies, as well as my position as museum manager at a local National Trust historic site in Philadelphia. I am currently a student at the Sierra Group Academy where I've learned to improve my computer and customer service skills. I'm looking for a position where I can bring my skills and knowledge in tourism and hospitality, as well as working with the general public to your organization. May I have a business card, or could I possibly send you a resume that you may look over and contact my references and former employers?
Right? It's a class.
Yeah.
Keep going.
My name is Karen Downey. My goal is to become a medical record technician. I have 18 years of experience working with patients at Temple Hospital. My duties include escorting patients throughout the hospital and recording patient information. I also have some experience with computers. I'm looking for a part-time position that allows me to fax, copy, and file information. I can be a benefit to the company by being punctual and effectively doing my job. Can I please have your business card so I can follow up with you? I look forward to speaking further with you.
My name is Gary Saunders, and I've been working with food for over 30 years. I'm looking for a position where my goals are in line with my employers. I can give immediate benefit to your company because I have lifetime experience. I like working with people, but I'm also comfortable working by myself. I like finding new ways to accomplish my tasks with and without others. Working with food requires good time management. Wet items must be refrigerated. Items must be put away to avoid accidents with other workers and the public. Currently, I'm a volunteer at Mount Carmel Baptist Church food cupboard program. For the past 7 years, each Wednesday and Saturday, I've been absent only 3 times. I've always had a close relationship working with food. I have demonstrated initiative, consistency, and creativity in my 30 years in the food industry. I would love to follow up with your company. When I send you my resume, I have your business card.
I don't know if we want to keep watching these, but you know, this was the last class, so I think it's going to help you guys get some specific examples. There have, you know, these are probably not the most gregarious examples, but there have been some students that are really into it. I don't know, do you guys know Maria Richardson? Maria Richardson.
Yeah.
She got so into her 30-second commercial, and it was just like a really powerful thing because, you know, it's going to grab someone's attention and it's going to make you focus on it. So, yeah, I'll look for hers, see if we can find it, or Charlie can look for hers. I want you guys to start filling out page 11. Yeah. So I'm going to go make copies. How many people needed copies? 1, 2. Sabrina, do you need it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to make those 4. Start filling this out. This is your rough draft. Okay? This is like your outline. So start filling it out. Start filling that out.
What's that word, Charlie?
Yeah.
What's that word? NF? No, F. No.
Great asset?
The
What?
word you gave us in writing class that meant expert.
Adapt. Ooh, use that vocabulary.
See, I just can't get down what I want to write, but